Hello everyone, you are watching Naresh IAS Academy YouTube channel. Now I am starting answer writing series for IAS mains exam GS paper 2. As you know, I have completed some question and answer analysis series on GS paper 1 already, and this is my second series. So many students are sending their answer in Hindi and English medium, and we select some of the answer and then typed and displayed in this form. Okay, so this is the answer of a student, and now we have to evaluate the answer according to the weightage of its marks. And you know how to answer writing and what points must be understand. I have already discussed in the previous videos, and the first thing I want to again remind that you must watch or listen my videos on GS paper 1 and GS paper 2, where I have completely discussed both the GS paper according to UPSC syllabus on the YouTube channel. Definitely I personally assuring you it will be very helpful to you. Those students are not able to for the coaching classes, financially weak, definitely it will be a great assistant to those students. And you may also contact for the offline classes we are providing, and we complete the each GS paper within the 20 days. So first of all, we have to evaluate the answer of that question. The question asked by UPSC in IAS mains exam GS paper 2 in 2022, okay, and the question have been taken from the Indian Constitution. To what extent, in your opinion, has the decentralization of power in India changed the governance landscape at the grassroots? You have to answer that question in 150 words, and the maximum marks are the 10, okay. So now first we have to read the answer of that candidate. Decentralization of power means distribution of admin, financial and legislative powers between the center and the state. Now here change the para. The central government makes laws on the subject of union list and makes policies for the development of the nation, while the state government makes laws on the subject of the state list such as education, agriculture policy and medical services. And the remaining part of the answer is in India, the central and the state governments rule under the federal structure. The decentralization of power has affected the governance level in the following ways. Okay, the point 1, he is stating that formation and implementation of national plans have become easier in India. Success has been achieved in increasing public participation in the democratic system. Legal protection has been provided for the minorities and weaker section of the society. Resources have been mobilized, and the remaining part is administrative integration has been possible in the country, and the last 6 point is transparency and accountability have been ensured in governance. And finally he has concluded, in this way we can say that in the decentralization of power, quantitative and qualitative change have been made in the governance level. Okay, this is the answer of the candidate. And now you are able to marking for that answer, and we have also self evaluated. If you were the candidate in the 2022 exam, then what type of answer you would have written in the examination. So finally, according to me, this is the below average answer. Okay, so and how many marks the student can obtain in this answer? There is a complete lack of direction in the answer. Either I can say student have not understand the meaning of decentralization. However, he had to effort to touch the peripheral of the decentralization. But this is not a sufficient answer. Definitely the candidate may get 3 out of 10, and this is the poor marks. And I am again stating, as I have said in the previous video in the discussion of the GS paper 1, if you want to finally select in the IAS exam, so you have to ensure 50%, either more than 50% marks in each answer, because this is a top level exam of the country and this is the fight among the excellent. Okay, so you cannot make any kinds of drawbacks or the weakness at any level of your preparation. So then how can we obtain the maximum marks in this answer? First, you should explain exactly what do you mean by the term decentralization in India. So then the decentralization of powers in India means the distribution of powers between central government and state government and the local government. And after the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, the decentralization of power have become the more realistic in India. This is the perfect introduction. And now you should change the paragraph and you should start. After granting the constitutional status to local bodies like the village panchayat and municipalities, the decentralization of power have become a realistic phenomena in the Indian governance, and definitely we have achieved, and we have the sufficient cause of praising this scenario, because it have affected the governance landscape at the grassroots in the following forms. The point 1, first of all, due to the decentralization, now it have become more easier to estimate all the natural resources and to mobilize the resources. So then estimation of resources and the mobilization of resources have become the more easier after the decentralization, where in case of centralization it is not too easy or sometimes it is too much difficult. Second point, now the decentralization have made all the level of governance more accountable and responsible for their decision criteria at every level. What kind of decisions policies are making or executing, the officials or authorities are accountable in their criteria. So there is no scope for escaping themselves. Earlier there was no such provisions, but now they have become the more accountable and responsible. The third point is, due to the decentralization, now the execution of policies and various schemes and their implementation have not only become faster, also have become the more easier, and the access of grassroots level peoples have become at the more, and the more representation of the grassroots level peoples we have ensured through the decentralization. And the next point, you can say, whenever the union government, state government and the local governance are coordinating to each other and sometimes they are cooperating, however in some areas they have a confrontation to each other, but more or less in India it has become more fruitful because all the three levels of the governance now are targeting the socio-economic development of the country. And next point is due to the decentralization, now the allocation of financial resources have become too much easy, and union government and state government now are providing the too much financial aid to the local bodies so that the schemes could be implemented fastly and the result can be obtained continuously. And in the last, due to the decentralization, the grassroots landscape have changed because the participation of the weaker section or the underprivileged of the society we have encouraged, and also we have ensured the women empowerment, ensuring the reservation to the all categories of women in the grassroots level institutions. So definitely the decentralization now India has become a realistic phenomena, and it is changing the whole scenario of the governance in India. However, we have achieved a level of governance, but we have to obtain so many goals or targets still have not been attained. So in future we have to grant more financial resources to the local bodies and the more admin or legislative power. These powers are very less in the hand of the local bodies. So definitely if you are writing your answer in this way, due to the decentralization we have achieved this point, this point, this point, so this is the direction of your answer. And personally I am advising you, you should regularly answer writing and practice regular. Whatever you are doing, how are you preparing yourself for the IAS mains exam, I don't know, but as I have felt in my long journey, there was deep drawbacks in my preparation. Nobody could guide me for the answer writing, that's why I have faced the interview but not finally selected. So this was the main hurdles in my journey of the IAS preparation. So I want to advise you, you should take care and you should seriously starting practice of answer writing. Without this there is no scope for your selection finally. Okay, so then this is the answer, and in this way I think you may get more than 60% marks in this answer as I have explained. Okay, thank you.